Good evening, everyone. Hi, this is Otis Burt III, and this is my first video that I've done in a while. I haven't done a video in like over a year or so, but yeah, this is my first video that I've done in a while, and this is going to be my 2013-2014 NBA regular season predictions video. And I'm just going to do the top 8 seeds. I mean, I could do one through you know 1 through I guess 15, but I'll just do the top 8 seeds. So I mean, who I think will be the top 8 seeds for both conferences this year. So I'm gonna start off with the West, and for the number 1 seed, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma City. You know, because Westbrook is injured, I guess that could be kind of debatable as who's number 1 right now. But Oklahoma City still, they're still the best team in the West as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they have Durant there, and he's gonna carry that team obviously while Westbrook is out. But I mean, they still, Durant is definitely one of the best players in the NBA right now. And of course they have other great players to help fill fill the void a little bit. Seth Volosha is still there. Even though Perkins doesn't score, but I mean they still have Perkins there. Serge Ibaka. They have Derek Fisher come off the bench. I mean he's obviously he's not the same Derek Fisher as he was before, but I mean he's he could be a dependable guy off the bench for them. They have Reggie Jackson, of course not the baseball player Reggie Jackson, but Reggie Jackson is a decent backup point guard for them. And they just have a lot of other decent players. Losing Kevin Martin might hurt them some, but I think they have enough guys, on the starting lineup and off the bench who can help fill the void with Westbrook being out. But Westbrook probably should be back in December. But Oklahoma City is definitely one of the they're definitely number 1 for me. Even though I'm a Warrior fan, of course definitely I would like the Warriors to be number 1. But Oklahoma City right now to me is still the best team in the West right now. So I'll go Oklahoma City number 1. As for the first seed. Second seed, I still have to go with the Spurs. I mean, even though the Spurs every year we always say, oh they're too old. That they're at some point gonna not be as good because of the age, but they just find a way to keep getting it done. Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, those guys find a way to always get it done. The Spurs are still a solid team. They added Marco Bellinelli in the offseason. They lost DeJuan Blair, but he wasn't really playing much for them last year, in the playoffs and stuff. But they're still a decent team. They still have Boris Diaw there, and they're just a solid team all around. So I think they'll still be one of the better teams in the West. So I have them as my second seed in the West. Third seed, I'm going to have to go with the Clippers there. I mean, the Clippers, they made some changes in the offseason. Eric Bledsoe's not there anymore. They traded him to the Suns. They also traded Caron Butler to the Suns, who then traded him to the Bucks. But I mean the Clippers are still a solid team though. I mean they have J.J. Redick now coming off the bench. They have Jared Dudley now. He'll probably be their starting small forward I think. Of course Chauncey Billups is gone, but they have other players. They have Byron Mullins, and of course Lamar Odom's gone. But they just have a solid team still. I mean Matt Barnes, I think they re-signed him this past off season, so he'll still be there. Of course Chris Paul. I mean the team Chris Paul definitely makes them go, and Blake Griffin as well too, and even DeAndre Jordan. But I mean, the Clippers are still, definitely a solid team, even though they're a team where you might have to wonder like how far they can go in the playoffs, and I'm sure they'll probably go further than the first round this year. But I mean, they're still a decent team, I think. So I have them as a third seed in the West right now. My fourth seed, I'm going to go with the Grizzlies. And actually, some people actually are putting the Warriors there as the fourth seed, and the Warriors could very well be in the fourth seed, but the Grizzlies are still a tough team to me. I mean, they still have Zach Randolph, they still have Mike Conley, they still have Marc Gasol, and they're just they're still a solid team. They didn't really lose anybody significant. I mean, Tony Roten, I guess, but I mean, other than him, they didn't really lose anybody. They have Tayshaun Prince there. They were a better team without Rudy Gay. Actually, surprisingly, I thought they would. I mean, a lot of us probably thought they wouldn't be as good without Rudy Gay. But they actually were better. The offense kind of flowed a little bit better. Mike Conley was able to do more things. So I think they'll probably be the fourth seed in the West this year. Fifth seed, I'm going to have to go with my Golden State Warriors. I don't know if you can see my shirt here, but it's a shirt I got last year. It says "We Are Warriors." I didn't get it at the playoff game, but I got it at a Jazz Warriors game I went to last year when they were giving it away. And but yeah, I definitely have to go with my Warriors as a fifth seed this year. The Warriors are definitely they you could arguably say they might be better than last year. I mean, yeah, it'll be kind of hard to replace what Jerry Jack and Carl Landry did last year, but they'll definitely be a better team now with Iguodala now. They have Maurice Bates coming off the bench now. They've brought a lot of decent players, of course, with Andre Iguodala being the headliner, the big headline acquisition that they got this past off season. Of course, they have Tony Douglas off the bench now. And now with Iguodala, it'll be interesting to see who starts, whether it's going to be Harrison Barnes or Klay Thompson, because obviously, you're not going to put they're not going to put Iguodala on the bench, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure maybe some nights Harrison Barnes might start, and some nights Klay Thompson might start, but we'll see. And then of course, we'll see how Dave Lee does coming off injury. And then the Warriors have signed Bogut to an extension today, 3 years, $36 million. So honestly, I would have waited a little while to give him an extension just to see if he could stay healthy. But I mean, I guess maybe it is good that they gave him an extension now so that they wouldn't have to overpay him at the end of the season for an extension. But yeah, things are looking up with with the Warriors right now. Of course, Stephen Curry, definitely runs this team for sure. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what Curry does as an encore from the playoffs and the regular season out last year. So things are definitely looking up with the Warriors right now. I'm definitely excited as a Warrior fan. And it's just nice to see the Warriors, and everybody's playoff predictions, as a top team, because the Warriors sadly haven't had this, and definitely in recent years, I guess outside of the, the We Believe year and the year after that, or I guess outside of the year after the We Believe year, but it's nice to have, see the Warriors have expectations. Hopefully they could build on what they did last year, and that'd be cool if they get to the Western Conference Finals somehow. But as long as they, definitely continue to show improvement, hopefully they win 50 games this year or more than that. So, but yeah, definitely have a lot of excitement for the Warriors this year. So I think the Warriors will be the 5th seed in the West this year. 6th seed, I'm gonna have to go with the Rockets there. Of course, the big news with the Rockets is they got Dwight Howard. After all the drama he went through with the Lakers last year, but he'll definitely help them be better. Of course, they still have Jeremy Lin. They have James Harden. They'll see what James Harden does. Building off the year that he had last year, coming into his own as a starting shooting guard. So I think the Rockets will be the 6th seed in the West this year. 7th seed, I'll have to go with the Nuggets, even though they George Karl's not the coach anymore, and even though they don't they don't have they kind of changed the roster a little bit. Of course, they don't have Iguodala anymore; he's a Warrior now. But I mean, they're still a decent team though. They still have Kenneth Faried. They still have Ty Lawson. I guess JaVale McGee's going to be the starting center this year for them. They got rid of Koufos, or they traded him to the Grizzlies. I forgot who they traded him for, but they traded him to the Grizzlies. I think for a backup center. But yeah, but I mean, they're still Nuggets still a scary team. Better see how Gallinari looks like after his injury last year. But we'll see. I think the Nuggets are still a good team. They'll probably be the 7th seed in the West this year, and then. The 8th seed, it's kind of a toss-up because you could put a number of different teams there, but I think Dallas will probably get the 8th seed in the West this year. I mean, they're an older team. They might be kind of rebuilding now, now that Dirk's getting older, and they kind of they got rid of some guys, but they have Monte, former Warrior Monte Ellis. He's on the Mavs now. Devin Harris is back with them now. They have Barry Larkin's son. I forget his first name, but Barry Larkin's son is on their team now. They drafted him this year. They added Samuel Dalembert. I mean, they have decent pieces. Sean Marion is still there. I mean, they probably might not get past first round, especially if they play Oklahoma State in the first round this year. But I mean, they're still a decent team. I mean, Dirk will probably carry him, and Monte as well, and maybe Devin Harris as well too, and Jose Calderon, they got him too. But yeah, I think Dallas will probably be the 8th seed, and they'll probably battle the T-Wolves for the 8th spot. Maybe the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers making the playoffs this year, but maybe the Lakers will probably try to get the 8th seed, even though they're a different team now. And how will Kobe look coming off his injury? But yeah, they'll probably definitely battle the Lakers for the 8th spot. Minnesota. I'm not sure who else. Maybe. Well, no. I was thinking maybe Sacramento, but that probably won't happen. I mean, they could be better, but I don't know about the Kings as much. Sorry, Kings fans. But yeah, so those are my predictions for the Western Conference. I probably might do another video for the Eastern Conference, like a separate video, so this won't be like one long video. But yeah, so those are my picks for the Western Conference this year. For seeds 1 through 8. Just to run them off again, I'll just do it like that. Oklahoma City #1 as first seed. The Spurs as the second seed. Clippers as the third seed. Grizzlies as the fourth seed. My Warriors as the fifth seed. The Rockets as the sixth seed. The Nuggets as the seventh seed, and the Mavs as the eighth seed. Okay, so I'll do another video for my Eastern Conference predictions. But yeah, so these are my predictions for the Western Conference, and take care and have a great day. Peace.